Hi, I'm Seth Roach. This is another guitar show and tell video. Here we go. This is my favorite acoustic guitar ever. This is a Larrivee L-05. I'm not sure if they make them anymore, at least of this style exactly. I've had it since about 2003, and it's my baby. It's so good. I've pretty much everything acoustic guitar wise I've recorded since then has been on this guitar. I love its sound. It's full, it's rich, it's got a sparkle, it's got so much tonal capability. It's wonderful. I've semi always regretted maybe not having a cutaway, but really I don't care. I'm just used to this, and I don't honestly play in this register much. This is a great guitar. Wow. But I've made some additions since I got it. I'm going to show you some of those additions, plus one change I'm going to demonstrate here in this video by way of comparison. What things have I added? I've got the pick holder. Also, it didn't originally come as acoustic electric. So to give it that electric capability, preamp the LR Bags Anthem. I love this so much. Don't have anything cut in, any controls here, but here, this is the piezo microphone. They're kind of like pickups, two sounds. But yeah, the microphone we're going to hear from, the piezo we're going to hear from, and I've also got the Warm Audio WA87. Okay, so, and gosh, in addition to what I've recorded, I've played with, you know, any gig I've done acoustically has been on this instrument too, be it playing at coffee shops, playing with friends at get-togethers, playing at campouts, playing in other performances here and there. This has been the instrument I've used. It's my go-to. I've got another acoustic guitar I usually teach from, play with in the classroom. This guitar stays here. One unfortunate, over the years, prior to me more properly humidifying it on, during the colder seasons, has developed a crack. I don't know if you can see this crack in this guitar, but it's developed that over time. Doesn't seem to, there's another crack. It doesn't seem to affect the sound significantly. Unfortunately, this close-up shot shows a lot of love dings, dents, booms. So yeah, I mean, other kind of usage marks. Sometimes these come off and I will reglue. But really, the reason I'm making this video is because, not that this guitar sounds bad, but I wanted to see what it would sound like if I swapped out the current plastic nut saddle with a TUSQ nut and saddle. So I'm going to A and B this thing for you. You're going to hear a lot of what this guitar sounds like before and then after. So here we go. Presently, we do have the original nut and saddle. I'm going to play through. You'll hear each example 3 ways with the LR Bags. I'll just say the Anthem mic, Anthem piezo, and then the Warm Audio. And then we'll hear those again after I've installed the new TUSQ saddle and nuts. Here they are. I've actually already installed them. I did just kind of minimal shaping. They were really, other than that, mostly just drop in. These are so great. I'll put links to which ones I happened to get. Ordered these from Sweetwater. Sweetwater is always great. Do I need to say anything else about this before I get going? I don't think so. pretty much tuned up. Let's get started. Let's do some strumming and listen at this time. So let's start on the Anthem microphone. Now the Anthem piezo. And now to the warm audio. Okay, now let's do some kind of melodic strumming and start over. Back to the Anthem mic. And the Anthem piezo. And the warm audio. Okay. Now let's do some simple lead themes. Here we go. Back to the Anthem microphone. Anthem piezo. Warm audio. Okay. All right. Now let's do some finger picking a little bit. And let's say, I'll do this. Here is the Anthem mic. Now the Anthem piezo again. And back to the warm audio. There we go. I tried my best to play these as accurately as possible, as consistently as possible. The strings I used are elixirs. These are the phosphor bronze. I will say that the process of getting the strings tuned up and then loosened, tuned up and loosened, through the course of getting these installed, I broke 2 of the elixir strings. I replaced them with the closest thing, non-elixirs that I could find, the high E first string and the D string. They're the same gauge. I think I just used kind of just a generic acoustic guitar string. So FYI, that occurred, but between the nut and saddle old to nut and saddle new, I used the same strings exactly for that. So it is consistent in that way. Okay, I went and listened back to some of those recordings. I noticed some things I noticed before and noticed some new things maybe. First thing I noticed is they're different. Different material, plastic versus this TUSQ, this artificial bone. It's gotten such high praise. It's about time I tried one. Thanks, by the way, to advice, information from Mr. Reed's workshop in Independence, Kansas. Great place to purchase instruments, to get repair work done. They really know their stuff. They help steer me in right direction for the avenue that I took. One difference I heard in the TUSQ is the sparkle. Increased high-end frequencies seemed clear to me immediately, whether I was doing the heavy strumming or the melodic strumming or the lead. A little bit less so with the finger picking, but it was there. So it gave it kind of a lift where, not that I particularly noticed I needed, but I definitely noticed occurred when I listened back to it. And it gave it kind of a pristine quality. It gave it a shine. You can use words like that to describe high. It's hard to describe this stuff. Another thing I noticed different was an increase in some of the bass frequencies. Initially, when I was listening, I kind of thought there was a decrease instead, but kind of hard to tell in the moment. Then listening back, it was much more prominent. It wasn't extra woofy. It wasn't muddy. It was fantastic. It made the heavy strumming more powerful. It made the melodic strumming, those kind of little melody bits, a little more, they kind of sang out more. In the lead stuff, it gave it more of a kind of a punch and sharper attack. And with the finger picking, it kind of gave it an extra warmth that wasn't present earlier when I played it with the plastic pieces. Did I need to do this switch? No. Mostly I was just curious. I think overall, I'm happy. I'm gonna keep them on there. If I was really unhappy, I would probably just take them off and go back to the old. So overall, I think it's an increase in value, an increase in sound, and is inspiring. Kind of makes me want to play it more, record more, and see what I can do to push the instrument and push myself creatively. I just like, in my attitude of modding electric instruments, I felt comfortable enough to modify my Larrivee instrument. And I'm happy that I did so. Please let me know your thoughts. If you honestly give me some good feedback, if you like the old, the plastic ones better, if you like the TUSQ ones better, I don't care. If you notice anything that seemed off, or anything like negative qualities, and you suspect the installation of these two, the TUSQ pieces, let me know. If you hear some prominent buzzing or something that you thought wasn't present on the neck or on the plastic pieces, let me know. And if there's any suggestions you would say for me to do to improve that. Totally want to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, listening, and stuff. See you later. Bye.